What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello and welcome. In today's video, we are going to be doing some not so speedy speed reviews. I say not so speedy because as much as I like to get through these products as fast as I can, I also like to be very thorough with my reviews. I like to give you all of the reasons why I am putting these products where I am putting them. Now, if you are new to my speed reviews and you're unfamiliar with how these work, let me give you a quick rundown. So I like to split all of my products into 3 different categories. The first one is going to be misses. It's exactly what it sounds like. They're products that I just don't like. I am not reaching for them. They don't get me excited to use, and they will 100% make their way out of my collection in my next declutter. The second category is going to be products that are okay. They're not bad, they're just not great. For whatever reason, they just didn't quite hit that mark. I will get some use out of them. I'm not really looking to declutter them, but they're not anything that I would repurchase or pick up more shades if they are available. And the third category is going to be products that I'm absolutely loving. I am reaching for these over and over. I don't want to put them down. I 100% recommend them, and I would repurchase them and pick up more shades if they are available. I can't say that these would necessarily be holy grails in my collection. Only time can tell. But for now, in this moment, I 100% love these products. Now, I will have everything listed and linked down below in the description box, as well as what I am wearing on my face today. I did film this look. It went up yesterday. This is the ColourPop Stranger Things collection, but I will have it linked and listed down below in the description box as well in case you missed that video. So per usual, if you're ever curious about anything I use in any of my videos here on my channel, always check that description box. I squeeze as much information as I possibly can into that tiny little space. Now, before we jump into this, I do want to preface this by saying that a lot of this comes down to my personal preference, my skin type, my skin tone, and where I live. So with that being said, I am 39 years old. I do have a very normal skin type. I don't get oily. I get a little bit dry in the winter, but for the most part, my skin is on a very even keel. I do have a very fair skin tone, and I am very cool undertone as well. I also want to mention that I live in a very hot, humid climate. I'm down here in Houston, Texas, and it is always disgusting outside no matter what time of year it is. But let's go ahead and jump into this because we do have a few products to get through. Not as many as last time, but still quite a few. All right, so let's go ahead and get this party started. Now, normally I like to begin with the misses category, but as I was kind of going through everything, getting my final thoughts together, I realized that there's not any products that go around that I don't like. And that made me extremely happy because I do spend my own money on these products for the most part, and I hate it when I come across something that I don't like. It means that I wasted my money. So with that being said, we are going to skip the misses category and move on to the products that are just okay. So starting us off, we have this one from NYX. This is going to be the Face Glue Gripping Primer. Now, this is an okay primer. There's nothing really wrong with it. It is nice and hydrating. It does go on really nicely. It's not super thick. It has a little bit of like a thinner consistency to it. So you can see it looks like glue. I love that the packaging looks like a little glue bottle as well. This does spread out really nicely. It has a little bit of a hydrating effect to it, but it doesn't have the grip that I personally look for in a gripping primer. So if I'm going to reach for a primer that's going to give me a little bit of extra grip and hydration to the skin, this is just not the one that I would reach for. With that being said though, if you find the Milk Hydro Grip to be too grippy, this might be a really good alternative for you because it is just a couple steps down from that one. So again, nothing wrong with it. It just doesn't line up with my personal makeup preferences. Sticking with the NYX The Face Glue category, we also have the setting spray. Now again, this is really nice. It goes on really nice. The mister is very nice. It's not super aggressive or anything like that. It is a very fine mist, but this one just doesn't seem to lock my makeup in place as good as I want it to. It does claim to make your makeup transfer proof, and I don't find that to be 100% accurate. It is very transfer proof, like just to the touch, but if I'm putting a shirt on or something like that, my makeup still comes off. So it does hold everything in place. It does extend the longevity of my makeup, but it's just not going to give me the full transfer proof like the product claims it's going to. Okay, so moving forward with complexion, we have these two from Huda Beauty. This is the Easy Blur Primer and the Easy Blur Foundation. Now, I bring these up at the same time because these are formulated to work together to give you like that perfected airbrush flawless complexion to the skin. Personally, I do not like these products together. They don't mesh well on my skin. They look very heavy. I just don't like my makeup when I wear these two at the same time. Personally, I like the primer better, so we're gonna come back to this one later in the video. Spoiler alert, this is a favorite. But let's go ahead and chat about the Easy Blur foundation. So this is the one that I have on today. I had really high hopes for this foundation after everything that I saw, the campaign pictures. Huda looked so flawless in her pictures, and I have no doubt that this works beautifully for her skin and for other people. But for my skin, this is not a favorite. Like I said, I have it on today, and today it actually looks really good because my skin isn't having any issues. I did freshly dermaplane and I have exfoliated my skin. So that's what I have to do to get this foundation to work for my skin perfectly. If I have anything going on, if I have any little peach fuzz, or if I haven't exfoliated for a few days, this looks very cakey, very heavy, and it just does not melt into my skin the way that I want it to. So as much as I want to love this foundation, it's just not a perfect one for me. I will get use out of it. I will use it when my skin is in that perfect place, but other than that, it's just not one that I'm going to reach for very often, and it's not anything that I would repurchase. I don't even know if I will get through this entire bottle before it expires, just because my skin is not always in that perfect situation to reach for this foundation. So up next from Glamlight, we have the Berry Bake Powder. The formula in here is fantastic. It is very finely milled. It looks beautiful on the skin. It is nice and blurring. The reason I'm putting this here is because this is a little too pigmented for my fair skin tone. I love a pink powder under my eyes. This works really nicely if I go in very lightly with a brush and just sort of fluff it under my eyes. But if I want to like really pack it on under my eyes and kind of protect them from any fallout from my eyeshadow or anything like that, and I go in with like a velour puff, it is way too much pigmentation for my under eyes. It 100% gives me like a pink ring under there, and it just doesn't look super flattering. So formula wise, there is nothing wrong with this. I love this powder formula. You will see the translucent one later on in the video, but as far as a pink powder goes, this is not one that I would repurchase. Again, I don't even know if I can get through this whole thing because it takes that little to powder under my eyes without it being over the top and too pigmented. All right, so up next we have a couple of blushes in this category, and we're gonna go ahead and start with this one from the NYX Beetlejuice collection. This is the Passport Afterlife Republic of All Souls blush palette. This is very cute. I love how small and slim this is. It's a lot smaller than what you would think it would be, and the colors in here are very pretty, but I will say this shade right here does not work for my skin tone, and it is very shimmery, like almost like blush topper highlighter shimmery. It's a little too much for my preferences, and it's too deep for my skin tone. This one down here I can use, but I have to go in with a very, 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 very light hand. I cannot stress how light of a hand I have to go in with to make this one work. I love the purple one up here. I think the formula in here is great across the board. I will get some use out of it, but if they made more of these in just their regular collection, I wouldn't run out to buy them. I just think that they're nice, and I really bought it because it's part of their Beetlejuice collection, and as I've said many times, I love Beetlejuice. And the other blush that I have in this category is going to come to us from Fenty Beauty. This is the Suede Powder Blush. I have the shade Drama Class. It is this really pretty purple shade. I love the way that it looks on my skin. It is buildable in pigmentation. It has a little bit of a blurring effect to it, and I love the soft sheen that it leaves behind. But the reason I'm putting this one where I'm putting it is because of the shade range. The shade range in these is not very good. In fact, this does not work for deeper skin tones. I have seen many people try these on their skin, and it just doesn't look good. It either doesn't show up, or it looks a little bit ashy or bruisey, and that really kind of throws me off because Fenty is owned by Rihanna, and Rihanna is a woman of color. I realize she doesn't have a true like deep skin tone, but you would think, still being a woman of color, that she would formulate these with those deeper skin tones in mind. So for that reason, I can't put this as a favorite because I wouldn't recommend this to everybody. My other reason though is the inconsistencies in the finishes of this blush. So there are only two that have like a shimmering finish to them. This is one of them. The other one is the shade What a Brat, I believe is what it's called. It's a really pretty pink shade. I wanted that one so bad, but that one is glittery, and I'm not talking just like a pretty sparkle to it like her Diamond Balm has. It is glittery on the skin. It is not very flattering. I swatched it in store and I had every intention of getting it and I didn't like it. And the rest of them are all matte. They're pretty, but like I said, the shade range just isn't that great. So for that reason, that's why I'm putting them where I'm putting them, because they are just not fully inclusive across the board, and that was really disappointing to me. All right, so we're down to the last two products in this category, and the next one is going to come to us from Zeesea. Now this is the Paint Color Bright Eyeliner. This is in the shade Champagne Gold, I believe. This is really nice. I do like this. I got it in my Ice Cream Beauty box for last month, and my issue with this is I can't find it anywhere on the website, so I can't recommend it to y'all. I can't purchase more of them. I do really like the formulation in here. It works well in my waterline. It doesn't pull, it doesn't tug, it glides on really nicely, and it holds up to my watery eyes. But if I can't purchase more, how can I make this a favorite? So that's a little bit disappointing. I know it's a little nitpicky thing, but you know, it is what it is. And last in this category, we have another product from NYX. This is also from the Beetlejuice collection, and this is the Beetlejuice Gloss. This is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a standard gloss. It has a little bit of like a red sheen to it. It's very comfortable on the lips. It's hydrating. It's a little bit on the thicker side, but there's just nothing special about it that would make me purchase more if they have more. I don't know if they do. I haven't really looked into it much because like I said, it's not a favorite. I will use it. I don't know if I will use it up completely, but I wouldn't purchase more of them. It does have like a really nice strawberry scent to it, and it is comfortable on the lips, but it also doesn't last very long on the lips. So that's why I'm putting this one where I'm putting it. All right, so we are down to the final category, which is going to be products that I have absolutely been loving. And there's actually quite a few in here. I was pleasantly surprised to see that I have really loved a lot of the new products that I've been trying lately. So let's go ahead and kick this off with primers, because I do have 3 of them sitting here to talk about. So let's go ahead and start with the Huda Beauty Easy Blur Primer, since we already kind of touched on this earlier. Like I said, I really love this primer. It is a very blurring, smoothing primer. It has like that silicone feel to it, but it is a silicone free primer. It is nice and hydrating. It has a little bit of a cooling effect. It does look beautiful on the skin. It's very blurring, very perfecting. It kind of takes down the prominence of the lines on my forehead and smooths them out just a touch. Obviously, it's not going to get rid of them, but it does make them less obvious. And I do find that this extends the longevity of my makeup. But with that being said, I don't like this under every single foundation. I prefer this under my more hydrating foundations. If it's anything that's like a natural matte to a matte finish, it's just a little too much, a little too drying, and it doesn't quite lay well under those foundations. But I would 100% repurchase this, because I do like the way that it looks on the skin under those other circumstances. And the next primer that I have is going to come to us from What's Up Beauty. This is the Positivity Lightweight Hydrating Face Primer. I got this one in my last BoxyCharm. It is a new product. It launched right around the time that I got that box. I love this primer. It is lightweight. It is very hydrating. It's not sticky. It definitely extends the wear of my makeup as well. And I don't find it to be greasy or oily. So I think it would work well for all skin types, even if you have oily or combination skin, because it is very lightweight. And I just think it's a really beautiful primer, and I've really been enjoying this one. And the last primer that I have is the newest one from Milk Makeup. This is the Hydro Grip and Glow Primer. Now this is supposed to be a combination of their Hydro Grip primer and like a glowy primer, 2 of my absolute favorite things, and I really do love this. It looks beautiful on the skin. It is nice and hydrating. It has a beautiful glow to it. I will say it is not nearly as tacky as the original Hydro Grip primer is, but that's okay. It still has a good tack to it, and I just love that glow that it has. This is a little too dark for me to wear on its own, but under makeup it looks absolutely beautiful. It doesn't alter the tone of my foundation. It doesn't peek through and darken everything. It just adds this really pretty healthy glow to the skin. Up next, we have the Glam Light Bacon Set Powder in the shade Translucent. I told y'all this was coming up later in the video. I love this powder. I have it on today. I've been getting a lot of use out of it. It is so finely milled, very lightweight. It can be a little mattifying, but it's not so mattifying where it's heavy and cakey on my normal skin. It reminds me a lot of the one from Huda Beauty as far as consistency goes and the way that it lays on my skin and the way that it looks, but it is fragrance free and I absolutely love that. Like I said, this is a translucent one. It doesn't alter my foundation, darken it, or anything like that. It just sets everything in place and gives me a really nice natural finish to the skin. From Hourglass, I have two of their holiday 2024 palettes. I have the Dragon one, and then I also have the Evil Eye. Mine is just customized in the Lotus Flower packaging because I like this one better. So this one is the one for lighter skin tones. This is very cool tone leaning. I love the way it looks on my skin. This bronzer is the perfect shade for me. These two finishing powders right here are the perfect cool undertone for my skin. We also have two blushes, which are absolutely beautiful, and then we have a highlighter down here. These powders are so blurring and so beautiful on the skin. They are more buildable in pigmentation, so you can kind of soften them and blur them out a little bit, or you can really build them up for that extra punch. But I love this one for my fair skin. But like I said, I also picked up the Evil Eye Color Story as well. You can go onto the Hourglass website and customize it if you don't like the packaging and you want to kind of move things around. But the Color Story is a set color story, so you can't switch out the powders or anything like that. You can just change the packaging. But this is the Evil Eye Color Story, and this one is made more for medium skin tones, but since these are a little bit more sheer, it does work on my skin tone. This one is beautiful on my skin as well. It is almost too deep, but I can get away with it, and I do like the way that it looks on my skin. But the blushes are really what I was going for. These three blushes right here. This one is a very neutral blush. I love the way that it looks. These two are beautiful as well. This is a rose gold highlighter, and I love that one as well. And then of course we have a finishing powder up here. That one does look really nice on my skin, even though it has a little bit more warmth to it. Since it's super sheer, it looks beautiful. Now there is a third one as well for deeper skin tones, and while it's not as deep as I would like to see, it is deeper than what we have seen in years past. So Hourglass is listening. They are improving. They are giving the customer what they want. Hopefully next year they will go darker, or maybe they'll even give us a fourth palette for really deep skin tones. Now I love the Hourglass powders. I have been using them for years. I have actually completely panned one of the trio ones from their regular line, repurchased it, and I have a massive pan in that one. But these are absolutely beautiful. I picked up my first one last year. I picked up two this year, and I love these. 100% recommend them. I know they are like $90, but if you break them down and kind of look at the value in here, it's a great value, 100% worth it. From Adept Cosmetics, we had the Duality Cheek Palette. This actually launched with the Unity eyeshadow palette, and I was so excited to see that Adept was bringing back more blushes because they have a fantastic blush formula, specifically when it comes to their shimmering blushes. They are so soft, they are nice and creamy, they look beautiful on the skin, they don't have any glitter or chunkiness in them at all. They just leave such a beautiful glow on the skin. I absolutely love them. Their matte formula is fantastic as well. It is pigmented, very easy to work with. It blends out beautifully and just has this really pretty blurring effect to the cheek. I love the color selection in here. I love that the shades correlate together, but you can also kind of mix and match. You can go in for a completely matte look. You can do something a little bit more of like a shimmery look to it, or you can just really kind of go all in and do just a really pretty glowy cheek. This is a beautiful palette, beautiful formulation, and I absolutely love this palette. I 100% recommend it. From Singe Beauty, we had the new Evocative blushes. She did release 4 shades. I only picked up 2 of them, but I absolutely love these. I would 100% repurchase the other 2 shades, and I do plan on doing so in the future. But the formula in here is fantastic. So I picked up Persistent Persimmon. This one was a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I do have to say this looks beautiful on my skin under the right circumstances. In fact, the look that I have over here, this would be beautiful with. Even this look over here, actually, this would be really pretty. but I love the formula in here. It is very buildable. It is very flattering on the cheek. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, and it is just so beautiful. The other one that I picked up is Timid Tomato. Same formula, looks beautiful on the skin, but this is my favorite of the two. It does give a little bit of that sunburned look, but it's not so red where it looks like I have a rash or anything like that going on. It is very flattering. These are beautiful. I love the formula in here. I hands down recommend these. From Yensa, I picked up two of these Silk Cream blushes. So I have the shade Radiant Rose, which is this really pretty mauvey pink shade over here. And then the other one that I have is Ginger Blaze. This is a beautiful formula. It looks beautiful on the skin. It doesn't pull, it doesn't tug, it does dry down, it doesn't lift the product underneath, and it works well both over and under powder products. It does have a little bit of a sheen to it, so it's not going to dry down to a matte, but it doesn't remain sticky on the skin, which I absolutely love. This is a fantastic formula. I don't know why more people aren't talking about these. I was really impressed. When these first came out, I really wanted to try them, and I kind of waited a little bit. I think I picked these up on sale, or maybe I had a code or something like that, but these are 100% worth it. I love this cream blush formula. Up next, we have the new Glow Highlighter from Gucci, and I absolutely love this. I know that's a little bit ridiculous because this is a higher price point, but I love luxury beauty, and I always get really excited when I find a good product from a luxury brand, and this one is really good. To me, it is 100% worth it. Everybody's worth is their own business, so take with this what you will. I am not telling you you need to go out and spend this kind of money on a highlighter. I'm just telling you, if you have been looking at it, it's a really good one. But I picked up the shade Frosted Lilac. This is beautiful. It has a really good reflection to it. It's a little bit more than a glow from within, but it's not quite a beaming highlight. It's like a sophisticated glow to the skin. It melts into the skin beautifully. It's not chunky. It's not glittery. It doesn't have any kind of texture to it. I don't find that it emphasizes texture either. I just think this looks absolutely beautiful on the skin. It also has more of a translucent base to it. So when I have it on and I look straight ahead, you don't see a stripe or anything like that to it. I think that they did a beautiful job with this highlighter, and there's a couple of them on my wish list for the Sephora sale. So we'll see if I get them or not, but I love this formula. I think Gucci did a fantastic job with this one. From the NYX Beetlejuice collection, we have the Pinstripe Duo Liners. Now, I personally love a NYX eyeliner. They are a really good formula. I have several of them in my collection, and I use them all the time, and these are no exception to that. I love that on one end, you have these really pretty duochrome liners, and on the other end, you have a black liquid liner. I think that is very innovative, two very fantastic formulas, and I would 100% buy more of these if they brought these into their regular line and gave us more shades. The only nitpicky thing I have to say about these is that every single one of these liquid eyeliners is a black. I wish we had got maybe coordinating colors, so like maybe this one was a blue, this one was a green, or maybe this one was a pink, just to kind of spice things up a little bit, because when you buy all of these, you're essentially getting 3 black liquid liners, and nobody needs 3 black liquid eyeliners open at one time. So just a little nitpicky thing, but the formula is fantastic. I absolutely love these, and like I said, I would 100% repurchase them if they brought them into their regular line with different colors. From Charlotte Tilbury, we have her new Exaggerized Volumizing Mascara, and I absolutely love this one. If you have been watching my videos over the last couple of months, then you know that I've been using this one almost exclusively. I've had a really hard time tearing myself away from it to get some use out of my other mascaras, because this one is just that good. Generally, I prefer length over volume, but this one just looks beautiful on my lashes. It gives a lot of lift, separation, some volume, a little bit of fullness, and it wears beautifully. I don't get any transferring or any flaking. It's not a waterproof mascara. I do have really watery eyes, but this does hold up to that. Now, if I were to cry or anything like that, it is going to come off, but just basic watery eyes from allergies, I don't experience any issues. Now, I have had this one open for about 2 months, give or take maybe a couple of days, and I have not noticed it start to dry out, clump. The consistency hasn't changed or anything like that. It still performs the way that it did when I opened it, maybe a little bit better. So maybe it performs like it did about a week in, because fresh mascaras are not exactly my favorite. I like them when they're about a week or two old, but I haven't had any issues as far as the formula goes with drying out or anything like that. And I love the component on this. This is a heavy glass component. It feels very luxurious, and I think the price tag actually isn't bad for being a Charlotte Tilbury product. I would 100% repurchase this over and over. This is going to be a favorite mascara of mine. I wish that she would come out with maybe a waterproof version or maybe a brown version. Who knows, maybe that's to come in the future, but this is a really good mascara. All right, so we have just a few lip products to get through, and then we will be done with these speed reviews. So let's go ahead and start with a product that is not new to me, but it is something that I have brought back into my collection, and that is going to be the Butter Glosses from NYX. These are the limited edition ones in collaboration with Beetlejuice. These are called the Sandworm Swirl Lip Glosses. Now, there were either 3 or 4 shades total. I can't remember. I only picked up 2 of them. I love this formula. It is such a good formula. It is comfortable, it is hydrating, it's not thick or heavy, it doesn't do like the gloopy stringy thing or anything like that, and it does leave behind a little bit of a stain on the lips. Now, the gloss obviously doesn't last all day. It is going to wear off as you talk, eat, and drink, but they do last a really good amount of time in between that, and they're very easy to reapply. This is the one that I actually have on my lips today, and I love this formula. I actually forgot how much I love this formula because it has been a little while since I've had one of these in my collection, but I used to wear these exclusively, and this really makes me want to pick up more shades. But these are limited edition, but they do have a wide range of other shades in the collection. From the brand Illuminati, we have this really pretty lip gloss. Now, I do not know the name of this product or the shade name. It will be down in the description box. I just don't know it off the top of my head. But I got this one in my September Ice Cream Beauty box, and I really love this gloss. I had never heard of the brand before, so obviously I had never tried anything, but this is really comfortable on the lips. It's nice and hydrating. It is very thin and lightweight, and it does have like this really pretty pearlescent finish to it. It doesn't have glitter or anything like that in it. It's not plumping. It doesn't have a tingle or a cooling effect to it. It just adds a really pretty reflection to the lip, and I'm absolutely loving this one. It really makes me want to look into the website and see if they have more shades and maybe pick up some more of them, because this is a really good one and I do enjoy it. And last but not least, from Ace Beauté, we have their liquid lipstick in the shade Ambition. I also got this one in last month's Ice Cream Beauty box, and I did not expect to love this one at all. I have very dry lips. I am not a fan of liquid lipsticks because generally they dry down very matte and they kind of suck the life out of your lips. This one does not do that. It does not dry down, so it is not going to be transfer proof. It is very hydrating. It has more of a satin finish. It's very comfortable on the lips, and even though it doesn't dry down and it's not transfer proof, it still holds up really well on the lips when you eat or drink or anything like that. I don't notice that it wears off funny or does anything. The pigmentation stays on my lips all day, even though it may still not have that moisturizing effect, and I absolutely love that. Like I said, this one really took me by surprise because I thought I was going to hate it the minute I saw it was a liquid lipstick. Now, Ace Beauté is doing another rebranding. I don't know when that's going to be completed. As far as I know, everything on their website is still deeply discounted. These are included, so I'm thinking about heading over there and picking up a couple more shades because I'm afraid that they're either going to not bring these back, or if they do, the formula is not going to be the same. And I love this formula, and it is very rare for me to find a liquid lipstick that I love. Alright y'all, so that is going to complete this video. I hope y'all find these reviews to be very helpful, but let me know all of your thoughts down below. Are any of the products that I'm not the biggest fan of some of your favorites, or any of my favorites ones that you don't like? I want to know it all. Let's have that conversation. Light up that comment section, and as usual, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It truly does mean so much to me. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. I do post quite a few videos every single week, and I wouldn't want you to miss one. But until my next video, have a good one. Bye.